One of the things that I find helps my clients the most when it comes to nailing their nutrition is meal prepping. When you're busy, whether you have a corporate job, you work 9 to 5, or you are a busy mom, you need to pre plan what you plan to eat for the next couple of days or weeks in advance. The reason is that it's going to save you so much time, but also it's going to ensure that you always have healthy food on hand. So, how to meal prep? It's actually really simple. You don't need to make this complicated and you don't need to take a long time to do this. However, it is going to require some practice at the beginning of your journey. So, the first thing that you want to do is actually understand what makes up a healthy meal or a healthy balanced meal. So, a healthy balanced meal contains all three macronutrients: your carbohydrates, your fats, and your protein. So, it does not miss any three of these macronutrients. Now, what are some examples of foods that fall into these three macronutrients? So, for example, with protein, we're looking at things like meats, chicken, fish, red meat, beans, legumes, tofu, tempeh for vegans or vegetarians. Also, things like Greek yogurt or protein powder or jerky or string cheese can also fall into the category of protein. Now, carbohydrates, things like rice, brown rice, white rice, sweet potatoes, white potatoes, whole grains, Ezekiel bread, whole grain bread, whatever the case may be that you decide to, choose whichever bread that you like, are considered carbohydrates. But carbohydrates are also things like different fruits and vegetables. Those are also counted as carbohydrates. Then you have your fats. Your fats are things like avocado, nuts and seeds, certain types of cheese or Greek yogurt can also fall into the fats as well, and yogurt and your oils and things like that. Nut butters, peanut butter, almond butter, those are your fats. So these three macronutrients are needed in a healthy and balanced meal. So once you know that those are the foods that are required for a healthy balanced meal, you can start making your meals and putting them together and prepping. So my favorite ways to meal prep is to cook in bulk on the weekend. So I cook things like rice, legumes, beans, sweet potatoes, white potatoes in bulk. And I also cook my meats in bulk. So I don't like eating food that is very few days old. So I only do a certain amount and enough for about 3 days. So I will cook a big batch of brown rice or quinoa or lentils or legumes, and then maybe a big batch of chicken, and then I'll use those in my recipes throughout the week. So I also prep all my vegetables. So I chop everything up, I store them in airtight containers, I prepare and wash lettuce, I cut up fruit or make sure that it's ready for me to eat. Those are the ways that I prepare my fruits and vegetables. Now, when it comes to breakfast and, when you're in a hurry and you want to save time in the morning, it's so crucial to prepare breakfast items because I think breakfast is one of those meals that if you start on the wrong foot, then the rest of the day kind of goes downhill. So as long as you start on the right foot in the morning, then you're ready to go to make really good choices throughout the day. So things like boiled eggs. You can boil up 10, 15 eggs and eat them for your morning breakfast throughout the week. Another one of my ultimate favorite meal prep recipes is oatmeal in a jar or overnight oatmeal. It's so ridiculously easy to make. So you can take some oatmeal and some protein powder and you can put that in a jar or a mason jar or any little container, and you'll add milk or water the night before and let it sit in the fridge overnight. The next morning you top it off with fresh fruit, blueberries, bananas, frozen fruit and a little bit of fats like slivered almonds or some chopped up walnuts, and that is a super nutritious and high protein breakfast that you can have ready and immediately ready for you for the next morning. You can also heat it up if you like it warm. So that is really my favorite way to make sure that I get in my protein in the morning. And you can do this with yogurt. You can make yogurt pots with protein powder. You can add fruit the next morning. You can make smoothies. I like making smoothie bags. I just put all the fruits that I'm going to put in my smoothie, vegetables, in a freezer bag, and then I put it in the freezer. And then the next day, I just dump it in my blender, add the liquids, add some protein powder, and you've got really quick breakfast that takes less than 5 minutes to make. You can also scramble eggs. You can make egg muffins in the oven by adding fresh vegetables and some protein like sausage or chicken or bacon into whisked up eggs, and then pop them in muffin tins and pop them in the oven for about 10-15 minutes, and you've got amazing, delicious, healthy omelette muffins to have as well. So those are some of the things that you can do for breakfast. Now for lunch, you can make salads. You can take, all those proteins and the bulk vegetables that you've prepared and throw a salad together. You can also make one salad dressing a week and store that in the fridge, and you've got that ready to go. For dinner, you can also just grab whatever you have made in bulk and create something new out of that. So there's so many ways that you can actually meal prep, and it's so crucial to do this because this is going to ensure that you actually stick to it. Now, how to plan and how to actually meal prep on the weekend is entirely up to you. Now, my favorite way is to look ahead. So I look ahead at which days of the week are really, really busy, or what do I need which meals do I need prepped? And then I'll make a menu. So I'll decide, okay, what are the meals that I want to have this week? I keep it really, really simple. Then I go to the shop and I shop for the ingredients, and then I cook for the week, and then I store everything in the freezer or the fridge. So you really need to work with your routine, and you need to put it into your calendar, and you need to decide that this is an important part of your journey. If you don't meal prep, you'll notice that you'll start falling off track very quickly. When you're hungry, you're going to order food or takeout, and when you don't have any food on hand and you're not sure what to eat, you generally reach for anything, and usually not the best, most nutritious food. So as long as you have those options available to you and ready to go, then you know you're going to stay on track, and you really have no excuse. There's no need to make fancy meals. There's no need to make recipes with ingredients that have a long list of ingredients. You just need to keep things super, super simple. I hope this video has helped. Let me know how it goes.